Once upon a time in the city of Baghdad, there lived a poor fisherman. Every day he cast his net into the sea, hoping to catch enough fish to feed his family. One day, after many unsuccessful attempts, he threw his net into the water and pulled it out, only to find it unusually heavy. With great effort, he managed to drag the net ashore, expecting a bountiful catch. To his surprise, the net contained a heavy, sealed brass jar. Curious and excited, the fisherman opened the jar only to release a thick cloud of smoke. As the smoke cleared, a powerful and majestic Jinni appeared before him. The Jinni, initially disoriented and agitated by his sudden release, towered over the fisherman with an imposing presence. His eyes glowed with an otherworldly intensity, and his voice rumbled like thunder as he spoke. The fisherman, in awe and fear, instinctively took a step back, realizing the gravity of the situation. The Jinni, having been imprisoned for so long, was consumed by a mixture of gratitude for his newfound freedom and lingering resentment from the days of his rebellion. Upon his release, the Jinni, with gratitude mixed with residual bitterness, revealed his tale of rebellion and subsequent imprisonment to the astonished fisherman. In a time long ago, during the glorious reign of King Solomon, a powerful and rebellious Jinni roamed the lands. This Jinni, known for his immense strength and magical abilities, harbored resentment against the wise and just rule of King Solomon. Enraged by the limitations imposed upon him by the king's command, the Jinni decided to rebel. With fiery defiance, the Jinni gathered a legion of like-minded spirits, seeking to challenge the authority of King Solomon and free themselves from his control. However, King Solomon, known for his profound wisdom and mastery over magical forces, foresaw the rebellion. In an act of decisive authority, he summoned the most skilled and loyal of his sorcerers to devise a plan to subdue the rebellious Jinni. The sorcerers crafted a magical brass jar adorned with intricate inscriptions that could bind even the most formidable of jinn. With the knowledge granted by the divine and the wisdom of Solomon, they managed to capture the rebellious Jinni and imprison him within the confines of the jar. Sealed away for thousands of years, the Jinni stewed in anger and regret, cursing the day he had dared to challenge King Solomon's might. As the centuries passed, the once mighty Jinni found himself trapped in solitude, contemplating the consequences of his rebellion. Then came the day when a humble fisherman, unaware of the jar's magical properties, cast his net into the sea, hoping for a meager catch to sustain his family. Little did he know that his seemingly ordinary act would release the powerful Jinni from his ancient prison. The fisherman, though clever and resourceful, couldn't help but feel a deep sense of unease in the presence of such a formidable being. The Jinni's tale of defiance against the mighty King Solomon and the subsequent centuries of captivity painted a picture of a being capable of great feats and harboring potent magical abilities. The fisherman, realizing the potential danger that lay before him, carefully chose his words as he engaged with the Jinni. He attempted to soothe the Jinni's anger, expressing sympathy for his plight and emphasizing his humble nature. However, despite the fisherman's efforts to calm the Jinni, the supernatural being remained tense and watchful. It was the inherent unpredictability of the Jinni's emotions, coupled with the fear of the unknown, that left the fisherman on edge. The Jinni, though grateful for his release, still bore the scars of his rebellious past, making him a volatile presence that both fascinated and frightened the fisherman. The fisherman quickly realized that he had an opportunity to save his life. He persuaded the Jinni not to harm him, recounting the story of how he had released him from the jar. The Jinni, grateful for his freedom, agreed not to harm the fisherman. However, he warned the fisherman that he had planned to kill the first person he saw upon his release. To reconcile this, the Jinni promised not to harm the fisherman until he had returned home and bid farewell to his family. As the fisherman made his way back to his humble dwelling, he began to doubt the Jinni's intentions. Fearful for his life, he decided to seek the advice of a wise and knowledgeable sage in the city. The sage, known for his deep knowledge of the mystical arts and his understanding of the supernatural, welcomed the distressed fisherman into his abode. As the fisherman recounted the tale of his unexpected encounter with the Jinni, the sage listened intently, his eyes glinting with a knowing wisdom. He could sense the gravity of the situation and the potential danger that lurked in the presence of a Jinni who had once rebelled against the great King Solomon. With a measured and deliberate tone, the sage began to share his insights. He spoke of ancient incantations and magical words that could command even the mightiest of jinn. Handing the fisherman a parchment inscribed with arcane symbols and mystical words, the sage instructed him on the precise intonation and gestures needed to unleash the magic within. The sage emphasized that the jinn were bound by cosmic forces and divine laws, and invoking the magic that once bound the Jinni would shield the fisherman. The fisherman, grateful for the sage's guidance, absorbed the mystical teachings with the utmost attention. Armed with the knowledge of the magical incantations, he felt a renewed sense of confidence as he prepared to confront the Jinni once more. With the sage's words echoing in his mind, the fisherman returned to the seashore where the rebellious Jinni awaited. As he faced the formidable being, he spoke the magical words with a commanding presence, the ancient incantations resonating with a divine energy that the Jinni could not ignore. The magic took effect, and the Jinni found himself momentarily subdued by the mystical forces invoked by the fisherman. In that moment of vulnerability, the clever fisherman seized the opportunity to negotiate and outwit the once rebellious Jinni, ultimately saving himself from the imminent danger that had loomed over him. The sage's magical advice had proven to be the key to the fisherman's triumph over the supernatural forces that had been unleashed upon him. Now, in control of the Jinni, the fisherman forced him back into the sea, threatening to cast the jar even deeper if he didn't promise never to harm anyone again. The Jinni, realizing the fisherman's cleverness, reluctantly agreed. The fisherman then returned home, relieved that he had outsmarted the powerful Jinni and saved his own life. And so, the fisherman continued his humble life, grateful for the sage's wisdom and the unexpected turn of events that spared him from the wrath of the Jinni.